Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Laura Roy. I do a little bit of everything in this channel, so if you like a little bit of everything, I suggest that you subscribe to my channel. And with that being said, we have a new mukbang today. So today we just have a little bit of everything. They're just kind of like little leftovers. So we have mixed veggies over here. We have spicy chicken wings here. We have shrimp that I cooked earlier for my daughter, and we have 2 times spicy noodles. So I had cooked, this is jumbo shrimp. So I had cooked like 5 pieces for my daughter, and obviously they're big. So she's like, I'm good with like 3. And she ate half of it. So 3 were left. So here we are. So guys, now that you guys know that I'm pregnant and we're having a baby boy, we are expected to have this baby in August, so late August. But let me tell y'all first, this pregnancy is way different from my first pregnancy. But before we get into all that, let's take a bite. I haven't had these in such a long time that I decided to treat myself today. I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes again. So that's why I haven't had these in such a long time. But I've been so good with my carbs intake and my sugars and all of that, that this is really nothing to worry about. The only carbs here are the noodles and just some of the vegetables. The meat does not have any carbs. Oh man, y'all don't know how much I've been craving these 2 times spicy noodles. Delicious. Oh, and then we have slightly sweetened sweet tea. It's my husband's, because I'm not allowed to have anything with regular sugar. I mean, I can, but I just have to watch how much I'm intaking. All right, so guys, this makes me so happy. After this, I'm gonna have to either get on that bike that you see back there, or go for a walk. But I want my daughter to take a nap. But by looking at this monitor, it looks like she ain't going to take no nap anytime soon. So good. And this shrimp, nice and crispy, both sides. Oh yeah. So like I was saying, this pregnancy is so different from my first pregnancy. It was easy going. Oh yeah. I don't have any issues. I was literally like saying, if this pregnancy is like this, then like if pregnancy is like this, I don't see why women complain about it. But obviously, naive, everyone goes through it differently, right? So thank God my first pregnancy was a breeze, like literally. It only got a little tough, but it was because once you get bigger, your stomach gets bigger, you have a hard time going to sleep, falling asleep, and actually being comfortable while trying to lay in bed. Because towards the end of your pregnancy, it's not like you could really lay down, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to just sit up because it's not, the belly, it will not let you sleep. So, when I was pregnant with my first one, like I said, a breeze. Now this one, girl, veggies. Girl, this one is it's a different story. Very different. So let's start off by explaining how I found out I was pregnant. Yo, I outdid myself with this shrimp. This is so good. So anyway, so I was already pregnant in December. I did not know that. January rolls around, and the first thing I've noticed is that I'm a big coffee drinker. I love coffee. Ice cold coffee, hot coffee, high brand, low brand, it don't matter. Coffee is coffee, and I love it. So when I started feeling nauseous when there was coffee being brewed, or because every single morning I wake up and I would do my coffee and whatever. So I would notice little by little, it didn't hit me like hard like when it did when I was pregnant with my first kid. But slowly I would like make a cup of coffee. Excuse me. I would drink it but not finish it. And then like the next day it would be the same thing. So it was like that for like about a week. Then the next week rolls around, and what is this one? These are from Wingstop. But anyway, the next week rolls around, and I'm brewing my coffee, and I'm like smelling it, and I'm just like getting sick, nauseous. And I've been through this before, so I wasn't like, oh, what's going on? Like the first time, right? I was like, am I getting sick or something? Like this was a way too familiar. So I didn't tell my husband anything. I went to the Dollar Tree and got a pregnancy test. And this girl is not falling asleep. And I got a pregnancy test, and I brought it home, and if you guys saw my first video, the gender reveal, the first test was from the Dollar Tree. So I followed the instructions. I literally put the pee on the test thing, and it's like going, and the direction says like wait a minute or two, and then the results would pop up. Girl, this one didn't wait no 1 minute or 2 minutes. This one was like instant, like automatic. It was like soaking up the pee, and it was going, and there was one line. I'm like, all right, one line is negative, whatever. So it's going, and then the second line appeared just as fast as the first one. And I was like, let me read this thing. Oh, 2 lines is positive. I was like, no. No. So I don't think so. I still don't say nothing to my husband because I want to make sure before I even like say anything. So I don't believe it. I don't do anything for like a week. Like I don't go buy another test or anything for like about a week. My symptoms are still the same. Every time I smell coffee, I'm just like, like, no. Like I can't, I can't do the coffee anymore. So whatever. I go to Target. I go buy a test. What is it? The first response. It was a second, if you saw the video, it was a second test. I go ahead and I take that, and the same thing. The second line wasn't as like bright as it was the first time when I had taken the test, but it was, I want to say it was because it was like later in the day, and your pee is not as strong as it would be like earlier in the morning or when you first wake up. So I'm like, oh my God, it's positive. Like, and the first person I run to is my best friend. I go ahead and I text her. And I'm like, girl, you're not going to believe it, but, I'm pregnant. And, we were both freaking out. Especially me. I'm like, I already have a little 1-year-old. Like, what am I doing? Let's go in there with this chicken wing. So, I tell her. And then the same day my husband comes from work. And then I tell him. And it was nothing special. It was just him in the room. And I was like, you did it again, didn't you? And he like stopped everything, like dead stop. Like if a wall like stopped right in front of his face. And he like stopped, turned around, looked at me. He said, what do you mean? I said, you did it again, didn't you? And he was like, what do you mean? And I show him the test. And he's like, he was shook because this baby was not planned or anything. So after we freak out, after we're like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? What, like 2 kids, like we're going to have 2 kids. Like we still couldn't believe we had 1 kid or any kids at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now we're going to have 2 kids. Like, that's crazy. So we were like, what should I do? Like, when should we tell my family, your family? And honestly, we were just shook with the news of us finding out that we were pregnant. That I was like, I need to first wait, not tell anybody about anything until I go to the doctor and confirm, like, you are pregnant, girl, and make sure everything's fine, the baby's okay, because you don't want to get ahead of yourself and tell everyone and have everyone excited, and then God forbid something happens, and then it's not good news anymore. So I called the doctor. They didn't have any appointments until February, and I was like, do I really have to wait a full month for me to like know exactly, like, yeah, you are pregnant, or what, what's going on? Like, I know So, oh, excuse me. I knew I was pregnant, but the thing is, like, I want to see. I want to, like, really be sure, you know? And so, finally, February comes around. I go to the doctor's appointment. I told him what I'm there for. I told the nurse, I'm like, I said, I think I'm pregnant. And she was like, oh, okay. Because when I made the appointment, I had specifically said for pregnancy. So I guess they didn't read the notes or they didn't see the notes or whatever, but they were just going to do like just a regular OBGYN visit. And when the nurse asked me, I was like, oh, for pregnancy, because I think I'm pregnant. She was like, oh. Well, in that case, you're going to have to pee on this cup. And then, you know, we have to do all this other stuff. She goes tell the doctor comes in. And then she brings a sonogram stick. And that's the one they use. They stick it up you when the baby is like tiny weeny, like when you're like really like early on. She did that. She was like, oh, you know, I don't see the baby, so I think you're further along than what you think. And I was like, oh Lord. I was like, don't tell me that. Because I've been drinking, you know, like the holidays and stuff. I was taking shots on Christmas Eve. Like, I was just living life. So, she brings in the other sonogram machine. With the, you know, she checks my stomach. And that's when she was like, oh yeah, this is your baby. Look at him. I looked, I was like, this baby is already big. Like, with my daughter, I remember me finding out when I was 7 weeks pregnant. She was like a little bean, a little alien. And when I seen this baby, it was a full-on a baby. Like, you can see it's a human, you know? And I was just like, oh my God. I was in shock. I was like, okay. And she said, you're like 12 weeks pregnant. I'm like, 12 weeks? I'm shook. All over again. So, I leave the doctor's office. I call my husband. I let him know. And then I'm like, I still don't know when I'm going to tell my family and your family. Like, we still don't know. So we kept it a secret still. And then I said, you know what? Let's do it on my birthday. Let's just surprise my family on my birthday. Guys, I will forever love these noodles. If you guys ever question yourself as who eats 2 times spicy noodles just for fun, it's me. I'm her. They're so good. But anyway, so March comes around. I'm planning like a barbecue for my birthday. I just invited my family. First I told my parents because an emergency had popped up. My mom had to leave the country. So I was like, okay, she won't be, like, literally my barbecue was going to be like the next day. My mom was flying out on a Friday. My barbecue was going to be on a Saturday. And I was like, I'm going to have to tell my parents first, you know, that I'm pregnant before my mom leaves. So the monitor is dying. So I tell my nephew that's there, I'm like, hey, record this because I have something to tell my mom. So he's recording it. He brings up Snapchat and he's recording. I'm telling my mom to show her a video of the sonogram. My mom was like, who's this? Like, whose baby is this? And once the video finished, I'm like, it's mine. And she's like, she looks at me, she looks at the phone, she looks at me, she looks at the phone again, she looks at my stomach, she's like, congratulations. And I guess my nephew was so shook as well that we have a group chat, like a family group chat on Snapchat. So he sends that video off. So he kind of realizes like, oh, she's surprising everybody. Like no one knows. And he goes to delete the video. And before he did that, like he didn't save the video. So he just deleted it. And I was like, oh no. Like my mom's reaction was like the best reaction. So now my mom knows. Now I go to my dad. And my dad I tell him and he's like so confused. I don't know, for some reason he called it a cat. Like, you know, what is that, a cat? And I'm like, a cat? This is a human. But you know, I guess he was just as shocked as well, like as we were. So then that was on Friday. I told them, come my barbecue party. I tell my siblings that were there as well, and everybody was surprised and everything. That's when Genesis and my brother Jose decided to, you know, plan the gender reveal for us, which they did such a good job. The whole wrestling scene was epic. It was nice, and it was something fun, something different from the whole popping the smoke or popping the balloon, you know, the whole thing like that. This is spicy lemon pepper. So now the news is out, and then we tell Jason's family, and then, you know, we tell Facebook, and then I was going to tell the YouTube family. But like I said, I was so busy with life and with baby and everything that I just didn't really have time to just sit down and, you know, work on the video and put the video together. And but whatever, finally you guys know we're here. I'm pregnant as heck. This pregnancy is kicking my butt. This is just, whew, it's been a roller coaster with this baby. Literally up and down. Some days are good. Some days I'm like dying. So I was sick every single day, throwing up for about 2 months. Every single day. It didn't matter if it was morning, afternoon, night. It didn't matter. I would eat, I would throw up. I would eat, I would throw up. And that's something I never had with Lily. With my first pregnancy. The beginning, when I found out, I think it's like psychological or whatever, but when I found out that incoming week, then I started getting sick and nauseous and vomiting. But it only lasted that week, and then I was good. Like nothing else. Unless it was coffee and I would smell coffee, then I'm like, ooh, so coffee was like out of the picture. But with this one, 2 months straight, nauseous, throwing up. But it wasn't to the point where it was like concerning, it was just like you're just sick. So slowly the nauseousness was like went away. And I was fine. I was like, oh, it feels so good not to be sick, not to wake up sick, not to feel sick all day, And it was hard because I have a toddler at home. And I have to like take care of her and pay attention to her and not just run to the bathroom like every 5-10 minutes, So I was happy about that. And then all of a sudden, this right pain hits me. So I sent my doctor a note. And I said, I don't know if this is normal or whatever, but the right side of my body hurts, like the ribs. And we do all this tests to see like if my gallbladder is fine, my liver is fine, if every single organ on the right side, like if it's fine. And the test came out normal. Everything's fine. The organs look perfectly normal. And then she went ahead and scheduled a sonogram. She was like, well, we need to see the placement of the organs, or like if it's something that's being pinched or whatever, or if you have gallstones or something. So we do that. That comes normal. Everything's normal. She just said, it's just pregnancy pain. I was like, pregnancy pain. And I even told my doctor, I was like, I didn't have this with my first one. So all this is new to me. I feel like this is like I'm new to pregnancy all over again, because I never had that with my first daughter. So now, every single day, I have to live with this pain, this right side pain. And some days it's there, like the pain is just lingering, but I've learned to live with it. Because I'm like 30 weeks, 29 weeks, or 30. 29 weeks. I'll be 30 next week. 29 weeks. I've learned to live with it. But there are some days that it knocks your girl out. And I can take Tylenol, but I do not want to take Tylenol. Sorry. I took Tylenol in the beginning when it was like really, really bad, because in the beginning it hit me so bad, and it was like that, like it would not let me sleep. I would be in bed like groaning, like because I would just be in pain. So I would take Tylenol, but it really didn't do anything. It really just, it kind of subsided the pain just a little bit, but it didn't take it away. So I didn't see the reason to keep taking it if it's not going to help me. And that's the only thing that pregnant people can take that are safe, like on the safe side. So I don't take any pain pills. I just live with it. When I feel the pain trying to like hit me hard, then I just lay down and I try to rest and try to focus on my breathing and, stay hydrated. And that helps me a lot. But then there's other days that doesn't hit me as bad and I can just keep going and going, like the Energizer Bunny. But then at night, that's when it's like I'm dying. But other than that, other than this pain on my right side that I keep feeling, the pregnancy is going really, really good. The baby's looking healthy. My blood sugars have been under control. There's been some spikes out here and there, but that was when my daughter had a double ear infection. She was literally sick for like 2 weeks. The first week she was sick, it was due to her just having the cold, a typical cold. And then when I saw that she wasn't getting any better, I took her to the pediatrician, and then they found out that she had a double ear infection. So here we go, a whole nother week with a sick baby. So 2 weeks with a sick baby. I wasn't, I just had the baby on me. Like, it was tough. I don't want this video to get too long, but it was tough dealing with the toddler, being pregnant, and on top of that, the toddler was sick and clingy, didn't want to eat anything, and Jesus, it was tough. But thank God, she's nice and healthy now. She's over that. My sugars are back to normal. I'm gonna have to exercise after eating those noodles. But this baby is super active. Lily was active. Like, I can feel her more like towards like the end, like my 7 month, around my 7 month of being pregnant. I can feel Lily more. But with this baby, I felt him early on, like early on. He's already strong. So, very active baby. I feel him every day. He's moving, he's kicking. Sometimes I feel like he's doing the river dance up in there because my stomach just be like. But the funny thing is that when I'm around a lot of people, he hears a lot of noise. There's a lot of like chaos going on. Silent. I don't feel him move or anything. Silent. But when I'm home, everything's relaxed. There's not, everything's just chill. Like right now. Then the baby's like, all over the place. So he might not be a party animal, but I'm okay with that. This food was delicious. And my baby's calling me now, so we finished right on time. So good. I'm so glad that I got those noodles. Guys, I have not eaten those noodles in a long time. The last time I had it was November, I think. I had it here with you guys in this channel. That was like the last time I had them. Till now. Now I'm going to go tend to my baby. I'm going to try to relax. And I'm going to try to just do some exercises so my blood sugar don't spike. And yeah, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Sorry, this video was like so long. It's like literally like 30 minutes long. Sorry. Next video won't be that long. Alright guys, see you guys later. Bye.